What's going on, fellow A-plussers? It is I, your host, Adam Perez, back once again with a brand new video for you guys today as we are, in fact, going live to go ahead and discuss the brand new official trailer that we finally got for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. That's right, our 30th anniversary special that's set to go ahead and drop April 19th on Netflix. Officially, as of last night, got our brand new trailer for us to go ahead and sink our teeth into, man, and talk about a glorious way to go ahead and end off my Tuesday evening and wake up literally with a smile on my face on Wednesday to go ahead and continue to certainly talk about it and continue to watch this trailer over and over and over and over again. I've honestly kind of lost track as to how many times I've watched this freaking trailer, but I continue to enjoy it more and more and continue to find a little bit of Easter eggs in these scenes more and more, guys. So we're going to be talking about it. I wind up pulling up some photo stills from the trailer we'll discuss, give you guys my overall thoughts also. So listen, if you are in the live chat with us today, do us a big favor, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Feel free to support the channel with some super chats if you have some really important questions or comments that you definitely want to have on air. We're going to be talking about this, but I do want to go give some shout outs to people that are joining us today. Good old Jab in the house. Jordan certainly coming through. We got AJ certainly in the house. The A Games 10 is here with us today. Good old JB. What's up, JB? Tony Robinson certainly in the house, and good old Reboot Ranger. Thank you very much, guys, for the love and support, and certainly coming through. A couple people already loving this trailer, man. JB says the trailer was great. AJ saying the trailer was absolutely more phenomenal. Jordan says, yo, this trailer gives me the feels and chills. I'm so hyped. So yeah, man, a lot of people certainly talking very big about this trailer. So let me go ahead and just give you guys my overall thoughts on the trailer, and then we'll kind of break things down. First off, first 15 seconds, first 20 seconds of this particular trailer immediately sets the tone as to what this Netflix special is going to be all about. Talk about emotional, an emotional roller coaster to certainly say the least. Rangers pissed off like we've never quite seen them before, having to go against somebody that is not only familiar to them, but seemingly more powerful than ever. I mean, for me watching this trailer, my jaw dropped within the first 15-20 seconds, just establishing not only the death of Trini, but how it kind of all goes down, and then really seeing the emotional roller coasters that the Rangers kind of have to go through, not just the Rangers, but also her daughter Min, for this upcoming series, or this upcoming film, if you will. So immediately set the tone. Absolutely loved it. Great special effects in regards to at least like the CGI stuff for the Zords. We also got some really cool wire work when it comes to some of the stunts, some pretty big sort of set pieces. Also really love just some of the cinematography, the selection of just camera movement. So I'm going to be really fascinated to see what Charlie Haskell certainly brings once again as a director for a Power Ranger project. So it really kind of jumped right out of the page for me. Still very much being produced by Entertainment One and Hasbro. So if it does feel like Dino Fury or Cosmic Fury, maybe just on a little bit of a bigger budget, that's certainly probably why. Not really getting sort of that cinematic feel that you would to like Netflix originals, but that definitely doesn't take me away from this. I certainly wasn't necessarily expecting that from these 30th anniversary specials, but the budget is there. You can definitely tell the attention and love is certainly there. I am looking really forward to a lot of the original fight sequences that we have. A lot of the stunt work looks pretty cool from what we've seen so far, and for me, plenty of Easter eggs for us as fans to certainly enjoy, and definitely a pretty impactful storyline, I think, for us to go ahead and sink our teeth into. So from first impressions from this official trailer, man, give it to me. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. I'm really excited for this. Like, for me, this is my 30th anniversary special. No knock on Cosmic Fury. I am very much looking forward to it. But as somebody who literally grew up watching the premiere episode, this is the moneymaker for me, what I've honestly have been waiting for a very, very long time. And I'm really hoping that it's quite successful to the point to where, you know, who knows what Hasbro's plan certainly might be when it comes to the future. We definitely have already kind of seen them change course a little bit in regards to some of the things that they have decided to certainly do. Will there be an opportunity for these cast members to maybe come back at some particular point in time? never say never is all I will definitely say. So definitely enjoy this while we certainly still have them around. Who else we got in here? Tatilla's certainly joining us. Enrique Perez is certainly in here. Edward Sanchez Productions is in here. Says this is going to be more phenomenal. It absolutely is. So let's go ahead and just talk in detail about some of the things that we saw in this trailer. The first thing I definitely want to highlight, Robo-Rita, man. First off, the fact that she mentions in this very first opening line the idea that she has spent years trying to find a brand new body. I actually find that kind of interesting that she says that. It does make me wonder, once that wave from in space winds up sort of turning her and Lord Zed sort of good again, did it officially kill off sort of that evil side, or did it just simply disperse it somewhere else? It makes it sound like Rita's kind of been floating in limbo for years, trying to find another body to sort of inhabit, and she just now sort of found that that capsule, if you will, to bring herself back. So I am kind of curious as to what the memories are of Rita. She seems like this is very much the same Rita that we remember from the classic MMPR. She seems very much like she certainly remembers them, that's for sure. So I am kind of curious if there's any explanation as to maybe what happened after the finale of In Space, and maybe there were remnants of Rita that certainly survived that, and now we see her here. Who put her and built her together? That I don't know. Is it a mix of Scrozzle? Is it the Machine Empire? Was this always a backup plan of Rita all along? Right? Like, did she pull an Emperor Palpatine and like have like a clone ready for her if anything were to certainly happen to her? But just menacing, man. Just menacing. I love the face in here with the just the eyes that could just certainly pierce, that evil sort of grin on her. That just brings all sorts of chills and vibes and fears, man. So I really love what they've done in regards to creating Rita and making her just as frightening as ever. And again, really establishing how threatening she is with the death of Trini. It seems very much like, while I think some people will certainly be triggered at the idea like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that they highlighted the death of Trini, or that's something that they're going to tackle. Look, two things. One, death is unfortunately a natural aspect of our lives, right? That's something that I think all of us at one point in time we have to face, is the idea of death. So I'm perfectly okay with them tackling that. And I think also the idea that if Trini truly is going to die in this, the way that they've teased it in the trailer, if there's any way for her to go, I think the idea of protecting and trying to save somebody that she clearly cares about and is a teammate of hers is probably the best way. I don't want to say that, look, it's never a best way to go out, but if they are going to certainly present it that way on screen, the idea of her sacrificing herself for her comrade is as good as it certainly gets, honestly, as heroic as it certainly comes. So the idea that they have her going out, protecting her friends, and trying to save the day, that enough is extremely meaningful for me, certainly as a viewer. So I have no problems with them tackling that. I mean, literally, it seems as though this is the aftermath. I mean, you get the opportunity to not only see David Yost and Walter Jones as Billy and Zach in their sort of emotional reaction to what they're seeing here, but I'm assuming the next shot is this, where they literally see the landscape just completely blown apart. If Trini certainly was in that devastation, it seemingly was almost like it ripped an entire mountain or hillside off of it. So very powerful attack here from Rita, as we get the final opportunity to see our fallen Ranger. We don't get to see her jump in front of the blast, but it definitely is very much teased that way. And so for me, emotional just seeing the first 15-20 seconds of this, and as we can clearly see, quite emotional for our Rangers also, who have to deal with the idea of sort of a fallen comrade. And I guess for me too, it's not so much just the Rangers that have to deal with this, right? We get to see Min in here also, played by Charlie Kirsch. You know, her talking about the idea, like she drops the big K word, you know, she killed my mom, and the idea that we need to destroy her, right? So you definitely feel that resentment and anger, that'll lead you to the dark side, girl. All right. Hate, anger, don't let any of that sort of get to you. So I am kind of curious to see what the emotional journey for men honestly is going to be in here. I think they gave us a really great shot also of Tui Trang as Trini in here, right next to a photo, a colored picture. It looks like that Min probably drew for her mom when she was younger, as she's just reminiscing and thinking about her mom. And I'm thinking, I'm sure at the same time, what can she do? Maybe not necessarily to help the Rangers, but what can she personally do to go ahead and bring down Rita? So I definitely do think that there's going to be a great lesson for men to certainly learn here. The idea of that revenge really is not necessarily the way to go. And she's probably going to learn that type of lesson from and through the Rangers. And so I think the idea of Min having her own arc in here, I think will go extremely well to really mirror the parallels that we see between whatever Billy and Zach are certainly dealing with the loss of their comrade also. So a lot of heaviness, man, in here for sure. A couple of other things I definitely want to go ahead and point out in regards to Easter eggs. Well, first off, I love this shot of everybody getting the opportunity to get ready to go ahead and morph. I cannot wait to see what that morphing sequence is going to look like now that they are updating it. One thing that this trailer also established is Rita's plan. The idea that she plans on using a time portal to go back in time and destroy the Rangers before Zordon even gives them sort of their power coins. If there is any question that I have in regards to this, it's kind of like that's like how everything unfolds in a chronological sense, right? Because we clearly see that we have the death of Trini in here. She talks about the idea of wanting to go back in time. We get ourselves a really cool shot of the time portal here. And if you look closely in the middle of the time portal, it looks very much like the Day of the Dumpster episode where we see Rita kind of climbing out of her cage, her prison. So why it's opening up to that particular moment or showing us that particular scene in the time portal is up for anybody's theorizing. But when it comes to her plan, is she killing the Rangers or is she capturing them? Because there is another shot in here that you can clearly see. If you zoom into her contraption here to the to the right of her contraption, there are already three Power Ranger figures in there. If you're wondering where Tommy and Kimberly and Jason certainly were, there's your answer. At some point in time, she does capture them. It makes me wonder, does she go back in time and kill them? And in the process of killing them, they turn into these action figures? Or how does that all work? I'm not quite sure. But regardless, we're getting ourselves Power Ranger action figures here once they are in fact captured. But if you were wondering again where Tommy, Jason, and Kimberly were, they are in fact in this shot sort of captured. A couple other little Easter eggs here. The command center. Some people are pointing out the triangle on the top of this command center. People are suggesting that this could be a Hyperforce reference. I have seen the logo for Hyperforce. I kind of want to see a little bit more of a closer up shot of this. I don't know if they have the same color insignias that they used for the Hyperforce team logo when I look at this command center, but it definitely resembles the triangle symbol for Hyperforce. So we'll see if there are any other connections in here. One of the cooler shots I thought that we got in here was the Bandora Protocol, as Alpha is really trying to recruit the Rangers to certainly come and help. And a couple of towns wind up popping up here. Before we even get to Reefside, there is a Coral Harbor name drop in here, connection to Beast Morphers. Then we get Reefside, which is a connection to Dino Thunder, Astro Megaship, clearly in space, Turtle Cove from Wild Force. And if you actually scroll down or let the trailer run just a little bit more, very barely, you can actually see Terra Ventures name up there from Lost Galaxy right after the Turtle Cove name. So love the idea of references here. I do find it interesting that Alpha puts out a call, and yet the only two people that show up are Kat and Rocky. It does make me wonder, has Rita wind up actually capturing a lot more people? Maybe that's why they certainly don't answer the call. But when Catherine and when Kat and Rocky show up, it's pretty cool if you ask me. The fact that we get to learn here very briefly that Rocky, in his time, has eventually gone on to become a firefighter. It makes me wonder if him and Carter go out for lunches, or if they work for the same precinct when it comes to the fire department. So I thought that was actually pretty cool to kind of learn that Rocky's become a firefighter. Not sure exactly what Kat has been doing these days, but if you watch the trailer closely, it looks like they both pick something out of Alpha's hand, and I got to assume that those are probably the power coins for the pterodactyl along with the Tyrannosaurus. So maybe Alpha's got some extra coins on him, or maybe it's a case of after they're captured, maybe they dropped their coins, and they were recovered at that moment. Who knows how it certainly plays out, but it seems as though that's the moment just before they go ahead and morph, that Alpha actually does give them the power coins. We did get ourselves we did get ourselves a cool little cameo here of Adam and Aisha. Aisha's like, good luck, guys. What, bitch? You better get your ass here immediately. I don't need you in space. No, I need you here in the command center. Don't wishing me good luck. You better get your ass involved in here, girl. It made me laugh, but I was like, good luck? Like, that's all you literally have to say to me is good luck when I need somebody to help me come whip Robo-Rita's ass. So it's like, oh, who knows? At this point, it's like, I have no idea how much we're actually going to see of Adam and Aisha. You know, some of the behind the scenes footage and photos have shown them at the command center. So maybe eventually they do, in fact, sort of pop up when they really see exactly the dire need that they're in. But I cannot lie. I literally laughed out loud when Aisha was like, good luck, guys. Like, what? No, we need you here. What are you talking about? But clearly they are assembling the SPD at some point in time. And then last but not least, man, the shots of the Zords. You know, it's so funny. I spent so much time, honestly, like focused on the characters and the story and the emotional aspect of it, that when I'm watching the trailer and I see the Zords at the end, I'm like, oh shit, that's right. There's probably a Zord battle in here. Like, I literally forgot all about it. But I love what we're seeing here. One, people are pointing out that they think that this is in fact the toys, that they've recreated the MMPR scene from back in the day and recreated it with the modern sort of Zord Ascension Project toys, which I think would be really, really cool. I think it's an awesome sort of homage to the original clip that we wind up having, but allowing them to finally modernize it and then get an opportunity to see the Dino Megazord in full CGI mode, giving us brand new images and video here and footage of it. Man, I cannot wait to see what this battle, this Megazord battle, is going to be. We did see that Rita has like 2 other companions alongside of her. I would assume the Megazords are possibly taking them down. Whether or not Rita herself grows, who certainly knows. But the idea that we're getting brand new made shots to replicate that of the previous earlier MMPR seasons and a CGI Dino Megazord here. I think that they've pretty much impressed when it comes to Dino Fury, and I'm sure they're going to do the same when it comes to Cosmic Fury for original footage for Megazord battle. So I am expecting something pretty spectacular in that own right. So those are just some of the images I wanted to go ahead and pull up for you guys and capture and just point out a couple of things here. There might be some things that I personally am missing also, but if there is, please go ahead and let me know in the comment section box below if there's anything in particular that you guys want to go ahead and discuss from this particular trailer that we wind up getting so far. But I'm pumped for it, man. I truly am pumped for it. Let me see what some of you guys are definitely saying in here. We got Austin. What's up, Austin? And we also got Rebu. He says dying in battle is honorable, extremely honorable. If there's any way that you want to showcase Trini, you know, being killed off or the death of a ranger, the idea of it happening in battle is as honorable as it certainly gets. And that's usually how you want your companions to fall, if that's how it's certainly going to happen. And so I think it's fine that they're certainly tackling this. Again, it's one of those things. If Walter Jones, If David Yost, if they are perfectly okay with what this script is doing and asking of them, considering how close that they certainly were with Tui Trang all those years ago, if they honestly feel like this pays homage to her and is a very respectable way to honor her, if they believe that, I'm perfectly okay with it. And that's all that I personally need to kind of put that argument to rest. Austin says, "Man, Adam, this is absolutely amazing and incredible. I can't wait to see the whole thing. And there is stuff that they're not showing us in the trailer, and the new command center is totally awesome." Yeah, I do like the big set piece that they have for the command center in here. Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, this is just literally a minute and a half trailer. This special is supposed to be 55 minutes long, so there's plenty for us to really dive into when it comes to this this special. I'm gonna be honest though. If there is any shot out of this trailer that I was not a big fan of, that felt more fan servicey than anything, but again, I don't know how it plays into the context of the special itself. It's probably the fight sequence in the juice bar. Just from the rest of the trailer, it felt a little bit off. It almost felt like it was an opportunity just for Walter and Steve to showcase their fighting ability. And just have them just sort of do, a small fight sequence within the juice bar, or at least the gym. So, if it plays into the story, then that's fine. If it's just the idea of like, hey, we're just gonna go here and fight some putties and then leave, and it doesn't really move the story forward, it feels a little bit off for me. I felt like that was probably the only off part, but it was actually kind of cool to see Walter and Steve getting themselves sort of a civilian fight sequence. Because I know that they're absolutely badass at their martial arts, so I honestly can't wait to see what they do there action wise. Let's see here. We got Johnny in the house. What's up? He says, "Man, the trailer was fire. It was so good." Let's see here. Video DVD is in the house. Thank you for certainly joining us, man. JB says, "I think Rita has the Lost Galaxy Rangers." Yeah, there are a couple of shots out there that she actually has multiple other Rangers at some point in time. So she certainly is doing her part of capturing these Rangers. Alexis, what's up, Alexis? "Rita is going to pay for killing a Power Ranger." You're going to pay, Rita. Yeah, absolutely, man. The idea, I love Zach saying, we got to stop Rita before she hurts anybody else. And again, I mean, for me, it's this shot. This shot right here, if you look at Zach, just that sort of like horrific realization that your friend and your partner has just perished sort of in front of your eyes. Same thing with David, right? Like, I think growing up as a kid, when we watched something like Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, um, seeing Kendrick's pass was, I think, for us really shocking. It's definitely not something that we see in Power Rangers very often. So the fact that this is probably our first time that our Mighty Morphin Power Rangers team has sort of felt that sort of pain, and having somebody sort of taken away from them. For me, that just already feels like a heavy burden worth whipping somebody's ass over. You know what I mean? So there are elements to me that can honestly fully understand the perspective and the reasoning that Min probably has to exact revenge and destroy Rita, as she certainly puts it, right? In terms that we probably normally wouldn't associate so much with Power Rangers. And so I do think maybe not necessarily just for Min, but maybe some characters on this team having to deal with the idea of, is going out seeking revenge the way of a Power Ranger, or there are other ways to certainly go about doing that. And so I totally agree with you. Rita definitely will pay, but it'll certainly, for me, I think will be the more interesting point to see how our Rangers truly handle taking Rita down, and sort of their mindset going into that battle. Um, Austin also says in the unmorphed fights are going to be fantastic and emotional too. It revealed that Rocky's career is to be a fighter is so cool. Just having Rocky still be a hero after his Ranger days. Yeah, still doing something to go ahead and help the people around him. Oh, Johnny, thank you. He says Robo Minotaur and Robo Snizzard getting a robot upgrade. It didn't even occur to me that that's who those two were. I was so focused on the design for Robo-Rita and being impressed with it. I was like, oh, she's got some two henchmen. I didn't realize who exactly that they were. So I appreciate you clarifying that for me. The A Games 10 says Variety went ahead and posted an article about the trailer, and they might have spoiled an upcoming Power Ranger announcement for the 30th season. I think I saw you highlighted it on Twitter about, I think it was notifying us that David Yost, I think, popped up. I think they said Power Rangers Dino Fury, but I think they meant to say Cosmic Fury because I don't believe he was in the Dino Fury series. So I think they probably might have confirmed that he probably might be popping up in Cosmic Fury, which again, the Illuminati kind of hinted at a few months back. So we definitely have been highly anticipating that. Tony Robinson says, I feel Billy found a way to make new power coins or master morphers, restore them. Certainly a possibility because I'm very much, I feel pretty sure about the idea in one of the scenes in the trailer when they say once a ranger, always a ranger, and you see Catherine, you see Kat reaching into Alpha's hand along with Rocky. I would assume that those are power coins once again. So yeah, maybe they've been find a way to duplicate them or whatever the case may be. Alexis says, I'm definitely going to watch Once and Always and Cosmic Fury. Yeah, man, this is going to be a fantastic 30th anniversary special. I truly cannot wait to see what they have in store for us, truly spoiling us for two specials here when Hasbro easily could have just forgotten about this year, just waited until Jonathan Entwistle and them reboot whatever it is that they're certainly working on. But the fact that they went that extra mile to make sure that we have something for the 30th anniversary, I think certainly does speak volumes. But I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped, guys. I cannot wait for this. And again, if there's anything that I might have missed out of this trailer, please go ahead and let me know. This upcoming weekend on A Plus Hero Report, I believe we're probably going to have Indy on board. I don't know if Stewart is going to be joining us or not. I know he's going to be going to WonderCon later on this weekend, I believe, starting on Thursday through Sunday. So he may not be available for Hero Report. So I may try and see if I can reach out to Jinsaku, maybe have him on board to maybe talk a little bit more about this come Sunday. If not, if I can't get Jinsaku, that's more than fine. I'm sure we'll be talking about this even more on Sunday's episode. Andrew says, how are they going to explain Tommy being there? I'm pretty sure they could just explain him being there like every other ranger, just not necessarily have him take off his helmet. I'm very much under the impression that they maybe go into this battle with Tommy. The initial battle, it looks like he's certainly there for. So it looks like he's there for the death of Kat. And then I would assume shortly after, he's then captured, as we see in this scene with Jason, Tommy, and Kimberly. So he's probably then going to be out of the series for majority of the time. And then there is sort of that final battle sequence, I would assume, happens when you see the team running and we get the big explosion behind them. That feels sort of like a final battle, like they've rescued the rest of their team, and now the rest of their team is finally together to go ahead and finish it off. And maybe so you have a time in the beginning and the end without him having to take off his helmet and keeping him off screen for majority of the special. So I do think that they have a workaround in regards to how do you not bring Tommy into this, or at least have him have a speaking role. You know what I mean? And who knows? Maybe they did some ADR work before. Maybe Amy Jo Johnson, while she's not in there, maybe she's got a couple lines speaking out of her helmet. Who certainly knows how they're going to handle it? But they're definitely let's see here. The A Games 10 says the Power Scoop also noticed that a screen in the command center says Cranston Technologies. Interesting. Paying homage to either Brian, was it Brian Cranston, the actor, or maybe Billy Cranston? I have no idea. Unless Cranston Technologies is the idea that, isn't that Billy's last name too? Maybe he went on to become like a tech genius somewhere, for all we know. Let's see here. Johnny Morera says, I will think we will see more Min Kwan. She has so much potential. Honestly, she's going to be a fan favorite. I think so also. I believe so also. If anything, I think she's probably going to definitely have a much bigger role than what they're teasing here in the trailer. The fact that the final shot is of her and of Zach. He's like, oh, we say we you know we've done this a time or two, and the idea of sort of saving the world, definitely no slouches. Um, and so, if anything, I um I do think that she'll certainly play a major role, and I think she's going to have some really great sentimental moments with both Billy and Zach in here. So I do expect Min to have a pretty big role. And Charlie Kirsch is just so incredibly talented. I'm hoping for a civilian fight scene from her also, just based off of her martial arts sort of experience. If you're not following Charlie Kirsch on Instagram, please go ahead and do yourselves a favor. She's so incredibly talented, man. So I hope they allow her to definitely shine. Johnny says, I feel like we need to see more original explosions in the special. We certainly might. We certainly might. But yeah, guys, other than that, I'm pumped for it. I think the trailer was fantastic. Really great way to go ahead and immediately set the tone in regards to not only how deadly Robo-Rita is, but the emotional stakes that are certainly there. And I think the fact that we have stakes that seem very grave and very dangerous, I think automatically sort of puts this on another level. The idea of losing one of your teammates always sort of should shake up the rest of the team, and again really raise the stakes for them in understanding the danger that they're currently in. And I think as a viewer, that immediately has me sort of glued to the set to see how this is all certainly going to unravel. So I think this is probably the only trailer that we're going to get, which I'm perfectly okay with, considering that it's literally less than a month away as of right now. So if this is the last that we get of Once and Always, I'm perfectly cool with that, man. If anything, if there is anything I would like to see from this, I would like some character posters. I think they've done an incredible job. They did give us a poster and a couple wallpapers, and I think just recently the A Games 10, I think even Jin Saku on Twitter, I think they posted some new Once and Always wallpapers that Netflix have been utilizing. Gorgeous as ever, if you ask me. But I would really like some character posters for each individual character in here, very similar to what we've seen from other streaming services doing over the past couple of years for big shows and things like that. So we'll see what else comes out in regards to Once and Always. But if this is it, sign me up. I'm ready. I may go ahead and request off for April 19th for work if possible. I don't know if I'll do like a live stream reaction while I'm watching it, but I might end up doing a live review possibly on the 19th after I've had the opportunity to certainly check it out for myself. But yeah, guys, other than that, I think that's going to do it for me here. I would love to know your continued thoughts in regards to this. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section box below, and we'll definitely continue this conversation as the rest of the week goes. But that's going to do it for me here, guys. In the meantime, do me a big favor as always. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. May the power protect you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.